Well, hey there. I am the Terrific Lady, otherwise known as Brandy, and welcome to another reaction review for a retro movie. So, if you're new here, welcome, and if you are not new here, welcome back. Please remember to subscribe and hit that bell for you to keep up to date on when I post my videos. It will be every Friday at 2 p.m. Central, which is noon Pacific time, and 3 p.m. Eastern. I don't know the other time zones, you're going to have to figure them out. So the movie I'm going to be reviewing is Misery, directed by Rob Reiner, starring James Caan and Kathy Bates, and made in 1990. Now, you know what I'm going to say? There are going to be spoilers going forward, so if you have not seen Misery and you don't want to be spoiled, pause this review, go watch it. I rented it off of Amazon Prime, actually bought it off of Amazon Prime for $6.99, specifically for this review, and came back. And then come back. Tongue-tied. Okay, so we've got Misery, which is based on the book by Stephen King. It is about a writer named Paul Sheldon, who is played by James Caan. He has just finished his latest book, and he is on his way home whenever he has a car crash and is stuck in this snowdrift, and this kindly stranger, who we later find out is named Annie Wilkes, played by Kathy Bates, saves him, and she ends up coming across his manuscript, his newest manuscript, asked to read it, and it turns out that she is his number one fan of a series of books called the Misery books, which are romance novels, because, bitches love romance novels. Paul's like, I'm going to write a romance novel. Bitches love romance novels. But I think there were like about 12. Don't quote me on that. But there were a lot of books in the Misery series. So Annie's a fan of those books. She sees Paul's newest manuscript and is like, oh, hey, can I take a look at it? And he's like, yeah, sure, why not? You saved my life. He's laying there in bed, all broken, his legs are broken and really messed up, and he's sore, and he's having to take painkillers given to him by Annie to even be able to function. So she reads the manuscript, hates it, goes all nuts, and it's like, you know what? You could do better. Burn this manuscript. I'm going to go read your latest Misery book. So she comes back in, pissed off because Paul killed Misery. And she's like, you're going to write a new book just for me, where she comes back from the dead and lives. And so he is having to write this person a book all the while lying in bed with broken legs, and I have to get the hell out of here because this woman is nuts. And that basically is Misery. Now, the positives about the movie, I can't really complain too much about Kathy Bates or James Caan. Their performances were solid. They were fine. And that's about really all the compliments that I can give Misery, because I read the book before I watched the movie. The book is very much a horror book. It deals with isolation in a place where Paul seemingly can't escape. It is brutal. It is gory. It just shows really how the two different sides of her, and just how brutal she actually is. It's like this movie held back from it. To me, the tone is all wrong. Rob Reiner, as you know, directed another Stephen King adaptation, Stand By Me. It was based on his Stephen King's novella, The Body. Misery had that kind of same tone, and for me, it was all wrong. The tone was off. To me, I felt that it needed to be more brutal. They needed to go there, and never mind the fact that it's 1990. They were making slashers in the 80s, and slashers were brutal and gory and whatnot. Now, This isn't really a slasher per se, but still, they had the opportunity to just go there, and they didn't. Now, it might be sacrilege for me to say this, especially since there are a lot of people who really like this film, hold it in very high esteem. Definitely still hold the film in high esteem. If you like it, you like it. I'm not trying to convince you otherwise, but I think Misery is due for a remake. I think they need to remake it, and hopefully the results end up better than the remake of Pet Sematary in 2019, which to me, my opinion, did not turn out very well. Yeah. So, my thoughts on Misery, my verdict is I would not watch it again. I felt the movie was kind of overhyped, and they need to remake it. So, there are my thoughts on Misery. Have you seen it? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments. I would really love to see what other people thought of Misery, if your opinions are the same as mine or if they differ. So, you can catch all my other horror content on Twitter and Instagram at Terrific Lady. I have a blog available at bekindpleaserewind.blog that goes into retro horror topics, and I pause from time to time to talk about newer horror movies. And if you like what I do and want to support the channel and Retro Rewind in all of its glory, I have a Ko-fi that you can toss a few bucks to if you'd like. So, yeah, thank you so very, very much for watching. I hope you have a good day, evening, night, whatever time it is that you're watching this very short reaction review. And ta-ta!